afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill. It is here at the coffee company where our brains are scrambled. It's really hot. We're back here on the coffee company and, of course, Tottenham on tour, the world-famous home of Levy Out, and, of course, the Frankaholics.
The Frankaholic rehab session is open for business today for another hour. Tottenham on tour are getting their mojo back with the coffee company, and there's just a little things happening yesterday that we had to do another double, didn't we?
Indeed, we got all the we said this yesterday on our stream with Mr. Lubo that it was going to happen, wasn't it? It was always going to happen. Levy did his little spiel with Vinny, and then now, of course, Mr. Frank, the boss, the gaffer, has spoken. But we're here. Hopefully, we don't melt on stream. I've got my iced coffee at the ready. It's really hot. It's really hot. And to all those UK fellas, make sure you be drinking your water today. He says, who's not had any water today. So listen to your own advice, Kaufman. But without further ado, let's see who's in the house to take us through the show. We got Shemtangs in the house. Good to see her. Good to see her. YouTube member and, of course, European champion Musa. Good to see her, buddy. Hopefully you're well. European champion. Come on, you Purs. Good to see you, buddy.
I do love that name. That's one of my favourites. It's one of my favourites.
European champion. Oat milk latte. Choo choo. And we got Kudos is in the house. European champion. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're well. We have Angus McDowell. Good to see you, buddy. Of course, Premier League runners-up. And
back to back. You've got to remember to say back to back.
Premier League runners-up. And, of course, fourth place in the Champions League. We got Rob Welsh. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, buddy. European champion. We will talk about this. Atara on Wembley 1. European champion. We have David Clark saying, I'm chilling. I'm keeping out of the scorchings. I'm watching Zulu. Great movie. Great movie. We have great movie, David Clark. European champion. John Ratcher's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Ryan Trastain's in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you. European champion. Free for all. European champion. Raider. Good to see you. Good to see you. Scott Colorado. Good to see you, buddy. European champion. Everyone's a European champion here, apart from Angus. Yeah, that's what you tell me every week, Angie boy. That's what you say every day. It's Mbappe. But Brian, how are you doing today, sir?
Mate, I'm good. I just want to bring up Neil G's comment because we are going to talk about it. Obviously, we were talking yesterday with Lubo, and we were saying, I think Levy wanted that interview out, and then Frank will come out, and lo and behold, he did. And all I can say is it was a masterclass of a first interview. It was absolutely flawless in every single department. Another thing I just want to pick up as we go into this, because I saw it, I think it was Rob Welsh. Rob Welsh talking. Maddison looked really pissed off yesterday, didn't he? Really looked like the player unrest. Really pissed off with that warm embrace for the new manager coming in. Yes, I have seen Ange Postecoglou rage syndrome is out in full effect once again. Even though if he had said those exact same things, they'd be calling it a masterclass of an interview and go gaffer, my manager and everything. But it wasn't him. And we now move on to the Frank era, which it now just feels officially underway now, doesn't it? Now you've seen him at Hotspur Way. And we'll get into
it. Being 30 degrees, Aki, it feels much more chill. Everything feels much more chill. Everything feels much more chill. The boss is in place. He's got his ideas. He's in the training ground. A lot of the boys who are injured are doing work, and he can be there with his new medical staff, and he can start putting pieces together, as my brother says. He's still watching the Michael Caine. We've got Riggs
Big
in
up.
that.
Big up.
Tweaky's in the house. Good to see you, bud. Of course, Morton Barley's in the house as well. Good to see you, Gary. Good to see you. I don't know. We have the number one Agenbar in the world. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Very open to Sonsal as he sees him spending a lot of time on bench if he stays. Okay, I don't know.
Well, we'll get into it as well because when we get into the interview, because he obviously mentioned 3 players that he's excited to work with, and he did leave out 2 of the leadership team or current leadership team, and people will read into that what they feel. But yeah, we'll get into all of that stuff. We'll get into
Stu Boys in the house. Good to see you, buddy. YouTube member, European champion, Raider, born to lose 73. Good to see you, buddy. European champions. Craig O'Sullivan. Good to see you. Good to see you. The Guardians of the Pombo. We like to see you. We've got Corey's in the house. My computer is fried. Nacho Slayer. Slayer's in the house. Good to see you. It's me. It's KPV. Good to see you. I'm going to push this one back.
You might need to do your other camera angle.
Oh,
you should revert back to camera angle B, Ben. God, his computer is frying. His computer is absolutely frying. Ben, can you
move to camera angle B because he's sitting there.
Well, you can move Will, and you're going mute. But I will carry on whilst you're deciding that. I will carry. Where were we? No, no. But when you stepped up, when you speak now,
I'm back.
Okay, you're back.
I can't do camera angle B because Will is sitting there. But yes, let's talk about it.
Well, let's have a look at what Daniel's just chimed in with as well. It's in depth. It's the in-depth structure Frank speaks about that really got me excited for next season. You can tell he's one of those coaches with special, mate. We'll get into it. Big up Andy Lloyd's in the building as well. We came top of the table with most points dropped from winning positions, 29. Frank likes his team to get an early goal. Hope he works on the players' game management. These are the things he will be working on. But let's get into it. I'm glad to hear that Zeddy, your boy, is on the Frank Express. Chew.
Frank engine.
I spoke about it yesterday a lot with Ben on We Are Tottenham TV. Ben, let's get your overall key points and what you thought of it, and people in the chat whacking the parts that really hit home with you about Thomas Frank.
I thought it was a masterclass of someone that understands how to speak to people. It was a really refreshing, really humble, really good interview. Of course, we don't get to hear everything what he said because they cut bits and bobs, but we see a man that's really excited to develop this football club. He's here to develop the young players. He's here to develop the people. He's already said, I'm going to make these players better.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the players he talked about because he spoke about 3 in particular, as well as a lot of the younger players. He knows what to say. He knows what to say to get people and get people on his side, and he's really, really gonna get people going. And I'm just really excited for him.
Well, I have to say, obviously, people have their own interpretations or whatever, and obviously, people know how delighted I am and how much I wanted him. Now, Crossamano has come in with that, and then I want to bring up something about David Clark. David Clark brought up that we'll discuss. Frank reminds me of Sabil. Not saying he's that good. We're not talking managerial and achievements. He seems calm, softly spoken, but knows what. Mate, if you can put any kind of comparison with him personally, let's just hope he has the same impact on the pitch, because that would be something absolutely incredible. Let's hope he could. We'll talk about this one at the end, David, because we're going to talk about the press conference. I have to know, David, what I will say is this. If you can I don't know, because I don't get to watch a lot of football now, time difference and what I'm doing and spending time with Lana. I don't know a lot about these players. In all honesty, I'm not going to be like, oh, good player, blah, 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 when I know absolutely nothing about them. So, David, if you could just do a bit more in-depth, let me know positions, where they play, whatever, and your opinions on those players, just so we have something to go on. Because, Ben, do you know a lot of these players?
Absolutely none of them.
There we go. So
Absolutely none of them. We're not one of these channels going to say, you know what, I really know these players.
Yeah.
If you want that, you can go to Sean, because Sean has his Y Scout profile and he can actually look these up. So go over to the Spurs talk show for him to break this down. But yeah, I don't know any of these players.
What I will say is yesterday I heard a lot of talk about this Rios. I heard a lot of talk about this Rios. Like I said, I don't know a lot about him. But let's get back to...
Isn't Gesundheit something you say in German when you sneeze?
It is. So already Daniel's chipped in. He's a Colombian, which is more than I knew before. We've got Crossamano saying he's a workhorse. Ryan G, big up, brother. Big up, brother.
Good to see you, Ryan. Good to see you, buddy. Runners-up in the 1974 UEFA Cup final. You've got to remember that. Make sure you remember that.
So you know what? Let's first of all address the kind of one thing with the interview, which I think does deserve and shows how much of a class act he is. What he had to say about Ange Postecoglou, what he had to say about standing on shoulders of people. He literally gave full respect and credit to the previous manager, which I think was a very classy thing. And I think a lot of people that were disappointed that Frank's come in or whoever had come in, I think that said a lot about the quality of the man we've got in, Ben.
I think so as well, Aki. It's he is just a class bloke. He's a really, really he'll know that part of the fan base are understandably upset with the changing of the guard, as it were. But he has no input on that. It's not like he called Daniel Levy and told him to sack him. Thomas Frank is nothing. It's got nothing to do with that. Name of Graham. But what Thomas Frank can do is can assure those fans that he's going to build upon what the previous management team did, and he's not going to and he's going to build for the future rather than just destroy everything that's been given to him. This is a man that understands how big this football club is and his coaching journey to get to such a big football club.
Yep.
And he's going to try and push it forward. And that's what he's been doing over 30 years of him being a manager or being a coach. And I think he can build for the future.
Yeah, I could not agree more with everything you've just said about that part for it. But like you said, the bit that you got to love as well is how he was saying about how he's going to be so hands-on on the coaching on the training pitch. He will be very, very hands-on with him and his backroom staff. He's going to, and when he starts talking about the relationships, he's very, very wise and clued up onto things. And I think him being on the training pitch is a massive, massive, massive part of the difference that he brings, Ben.
Absolutely. It was one of my, and most importantly, he said, I have my guys with me. He said, we can't do this alone, which is one of the things I really disliked about the previous management team. It's a massive red flag for me when a manager doesn't bring his own coaching staff with him. It's a massive red flag. I don't like it. But him and his team will understand what to do. He's got his people and they will be working together. And it's going to be a really, really good basis to build on. We've got a good set of players. There's nothing wrong with this set of players. Yes, they probably could work a bit harder. They could be a bit better. I think with his team, he can really start to turn the team around. And that's what we got to do. You've got to have a basis and you've got to have a team around you. And he trusts those guys. And that was the important thing about bringing his assistant manager as well. Every single person has worked with him. They know him. They all know what he wants.
I have to say as well, which I am fascinated to know about. Obviously there's over 100 people in the chat right now, so thank you for joining us every morning when we've been going live. Please don't forget to smash a like and subscribe to either channel if you haven't. It would really, really help us, especially that we're now going to be back very, very consistently. But the thing I want to know from the people in here is, I know the people that were fully on board and wanted Frank in before. Has watching that first interview, if you hadn't have watched anything prior to him, has it changed your opinion on the man? And I will say, Ange has come in and has already come in with Frank's going to take us to 5th in the FA Cup. I've said that I want 8th and above in the FA Cup. I'm already teetering changing that to 6th, and we'll see what happens in the window. But I think people will get a better understanding of him now. What's your thoughts, Ben, on after hearing? I know obviously it's only an interview, and has it changed your thoughts on this season coming, and where, when you hear him speak like that, has that got you a little bit more pumped to think we can do better than I first thought?
It was always going to be a rebuilding season, Aki. It was always going to be a rebuilding season. You don't just go from 17th to being challenging for a Champions League place next year. This is going to be an even more painful than the last season, because there is a weak foundation upon this football team. Yes, we won a trophy, and that's really good for mentality.
Yep.
But you've got to do it with the bread and butter. We can't have a team that only cares about one competition a single year. We're playing in 5 competitions this year now, including the Super Cup. We're playing in 5 competitions. We've got to treat all of them seriously. We've now got a manager.
We say 5 competitions. One is one game, so we can.
Sure, but it's still a competition you want to win.
Yeah,
you've got to be in it to win it. You've got to be in it, and this is a weak basis and a weak mentality for this football team if they can only care about one competition. So he's going to have to tell these players that you've got to work hard every game, every single game, because you've got fans paying thousands upon thousands of pounds to watch this football team. And a lot of them didn't get to go to that final this year because 60,000 fans in the stadium. Not every season ticket holder got to see that final in Bilbao.
Correct.
So you've got to give people that go week in, week out something to cheer about. And that's what you've got to have. That's what you need. And this is the man to do it.
Correct. Listen, I can see big up to him because he's in this show a lot now. And like I said, we don't agree on hardly anything, but he's always polite. Tango, big up to you. Not really. He simply said what you expect the manager to say. I will say something about this now. And this isn't aimed at you. This is aimed at the social media people. When Spurs did the picture of Thomas Frank, so many people was like, now show us a picture of our real manager, and put Ange Postecoglou's image there or a gif of him. Listen, it doesn't matter. Everyone is going for Thomas Frank. When Thomas Frank got employed for doing very well at his job, if Ange Postecoglou had said exactly the same thing word for word and he'd just come back from his holiday, this would have been hailed as an absolute genius insight and, my God, what forward thinking and innovative and all the gloss words you want to put over it. But because it isn't Ange Postecoglou, that's what I expect the manager to say.
Yeah. You can't win.
You can't win. And like I said, and this isn't aimed at Tago, this is mainly the social media thing. It's come to the point now, and it's quite clear to see that when you come into this, should he lose one game? All the Ange Postecoglou fans, not Spurs fans, Ange Postecoglou fans will come out in their drones. I have one that keeps coming to me on Twitter that I'll talk about yesterday. That once I went mad with my social media yesterday for Thomas Frank, said he couldn't even get a Wemo to come 0 pull. And I was like, right, well, first of all, the negotiation started before Frank was manager of Spurs. Yeah. Second of all, he was a Manchester United player and Manchester United fan, and he's been saying talks have been progressing. He only sees it that way. What do you expect him to do if the player wants to go somewhere and it's his boyhood club, whether he was from Manchester or whatever?
Imagine if we were in that situation and it was either go to Manchester United or Tottenham, and we were said we want to go to Tottenham.
Exactly, that's the thing. This is the thing, and it comes to the point that, and he's going 0 Paul. We've still got just over 2 months of the window.
Yeah.
If we don't sign a player or players of great quality, then it's been another washout window, and then once again someone has said some certain words and didn't stick to them. But it is getting to the point now where Ange Postecoglou is no longer Spurs manager.
Yeah.
There's no need to talk about him. There's no need to bring him up. But yet anything Thomas Frank does, and he hasn't even started. Yeah. It's like, come on. People have to get some kind of, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Really doesn't. We got Auntie Kate's in the house. Good to see you, Auntie Kate. Hopefully you and Jimbo are doing well. I spoke with Jimbo this morning. I always love speaking with Jimbo. Have we got any? We got loads of people saying spot on, great appointment. Frank has the genius, enthusiast, charisma like Doc Emmett Brown. I like it. Get him a DeLorean. Get him. If Andrew's saying it, it will be treated like a Churchill speech. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Smash a like. Indeed, listen to Auntie Kate over at The Perfect Match. We got Robbie. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Hopefully you're well. Earn your money at your boyhood club.
Ben, you missed one out, and there's a couple I'm going to address now. Levy's brought in Frank to work on a shoestring budget. Now, this is the thing. Whichever way you want to look at this, people have got to realise, or us fans have got to realise, whether he's coming to work on a shoestring budget or not, which I don't think he has at all. The shoestring budget he has at Brentford is nothing compared to the budget he will have.
400 million.
The budget he'll have at Tottenham Hotspur. Absolutely nothing. The players he can reach that he tried to reach at Brentford, like a Bakayoko and others that he couldn't bring in at a Brentford, he can bring in at a Tottenham. Wherever you look at it, people wanted a coach to come in to work on the football pitch and change the systems, adapt to formations, develop the players. Well, that is Thomas Frank. That's what he does on the pitch and why I wanted him. One of the ones as well is he's shown that he can develop people.
Yeah.
So his shoestring budget that he has at Brentford is dwarfed. It's like a bounty for him. And I think there is investment coming. I honestly think, and this is, Tango, again, this is a great comment, but you've just said it yourself. Levy sacking Ange drove a huge wedge in the community.
The wedge was already there, Tango.
No, it's not even that. Levy sacking Ange. So why is Thomas Frank getting the heat? Why is Thomas Frank taking all the heat? Or even if it had been any manager, the wedge has always been there because of Levy, Tango. And you and me differ wildly on Levy and other things. But the very fact, I don't understand why Thomas Frank is taking the heat when he has done nothing apart from done exceptionally well where he was and got a job because of it. So, like you said, I just want to go back. Sorry, I just want to go back to this one very quickly. This is the thing. I am delighted with Frank, and I think, Tango, there's more chance of you coming over and saying, Brian, do you know what, you were right, than me coming to you. And that's not because I think I'm right or whatever. I'm just so convinced by Thomas Frank. But this is my whole argument with it, Tango. Your second sentence, Levy sacking Ange drove a huge wedge in the community. So why is Levy not getting the heat, apart from people like myself and the people that feel this way? I don't get, that's my huge frustration. I don't get why Thomas Frank is under siege by people that are very, very staunch Ange Postecoglou fans, which is their right. Which is their right to be that way. Listen, I'm going to be very, very staunch Thomas Frank. I get that, but why is the new manager taking the heat rather than the man that sacked him?
Yeah.
That's
it's my same thing, Aki. I'm going to go back to it. He lost 22 games last year. It's not acceptable. I don't know if Tango has a season ticket holder. It doesn't matter if he does or not. To be a fan and lose 22 games last season, it's not. He was always going to lose his job. You can't lose 22 games in a Premier League season at Tottenham Hotspur and expect to keep your job, no matter what cup you win. I mean, Roberto Di Matteo won the Champions League and got sacked like 3 months afterwards. What was it? Got sacked the next season. It's you can't lose that. Your bread and butter is the Premier League. The bread and butter is playing in the Premier League and those season ticket holders that are paying the wages every single week, thousands upon thousands of pounds. You can't do that. And like I said earlier about the players, if the players are so upset about him going, they should have won more games of football in the league. That's what it comes down to. If they had finished 13th and won the Europa League, it'd still be in a job. Yeah. It's the fact we finished 1 point above Leeds. We were the lowest team in the Premier League. That cannot happen.
Exactly. No, this is the thing. I mean, like I said, we said we don't really want to speak Ange because it's done, and we're not going to. But when the comments like that come in, this is the part that I just don't understand. I don't understand it, and people who have, like myself and you, Ben, who have been very vocal about the board and were about the manager and get called negative, toxic, whatever word you want to use, then comes in and the new manager comes in and then they do the exact opposite to what they were doing. It's just madness. Thomas Frank is here.
Yep.
He is, like, getting back to it. His first interview, I can't remember. Obviously, this has been the first time, I think, since Nuno, where we've actually hired a manager in the summer.
Yeah.
Where they've done an interview like this. The only one I can remember being as good as this, but it was an extended one, was Jose Mourinho's. And I just love the Jose Mourinho one because he said, do you reckon Poch's problem all stemmed from losing the Champions League final? And Jose just turned around and said, I don't know. I don't lose Champions League finals. I was like, bang. I was like, there you go. How the mic drop. So it's now, excuse the pun, full steam ahead. And we see what happens. Now we've got 2 months of the transfer window. The boys will be reporting back to Ange in what? Just under 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Just under 2 weeks if they do go back July the 1st or whatever, the first week of July. He'll get 3 weeks with them under before we start Luton and pre-season and everything. And then we see what happens. But right here, right now, we wanted a coach to coach players. We got one. We wanted a coach to develop players. We got one. You could see how happy he is to be there. And now we move forward as a football club and just hope that the transfer market actually is one we can all turn around and go, do you know what? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's Champions League now. This is no mucking about. We have got Champions League football, and it's clear.
Ding, ding, dong. We are in Champions League, man.
Exactly.
Ding, ding, dong.
We need strengthening big time. And that's where it comes down to.
It is what it is. But what does everyone else think about Thomas Frank's interview? Give your reaction to the interview, and we will talk about it. But it was yes, it was a Frank interview. It was a Frank interview.
Will with his little puns there.
It was indeed.
What was Frank about it?
The man saying the words. No, I'm on stream, Will.
Yeah, let's see what people are saying. I think
Will is destroying my coffee studio.
Doesn't sound like him.
He's destroying my coffee studio.
It was got at least one fan.
What? Oh, Jesus. Whilst we're getting back, wait a minute. David had put it in, and I thought I'd start it. Let me try and find that comment again. let me try. It's going to take a while to go back and find the comment, but David did kindly put in the positions those players were. Now I've got to try and find it, because now you got to look at it like transfers. Now we need to see what happens. I can see somebody in the background. Hey, Mickey.
Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. But
there we go.
It was great. It was great to see.
So Sanderson, I had seen. Sorry, gets in number 9. Simmons right wing.
Vanderson, not Sanderson.
Yeah, Vanderson. Sorry. Yep. This I can't pronounce this striker at the end that I did an update with Ben with. I saw John Reacher also said about Savile liking him to Jermaine Defoe kind of attributes. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, again, it comes down to Frank knowing his backroom or the players he wants. Yeah. He's got the history of being able to develop talent. So there we go. There we go for me.
It was great to see players like Maddison speak with Thomas Frank yesterday. It was really, really great. Smile on his face, really excited to get started. And it was great to see Dragoshin with yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to see, and then obviously play it right. Do you know what? Let's get back to what we missed out. Let's go back to the players he mentioned, because obviously he mentioned Solanke, he mentioned Maddison, and who was the other person he mentioned? Solanke, Maddison. There's another player he mentioned. I cannot remember for the Bentancur. So, obviously, I personally think he's going to get a lot out of Solanke. I really do. Don't get me wrong. Do I think he's ready to be the number one main striker? We shall have to wait and see. But I think he gets close to the Bournemouth season goals this season compared to the first season he had here, because he will be in the box. He will be in the box a lot more than he was this season, just gone. So also, Shem, I don't know, has he become a member of Tottenham on Tour, or has he become a member of the coffee company?
2 secs.
Okay, Shem, I think it's Tottenham on Tour you've just rejoined. Big up and welcome to the family. Madison's another set of twins. Bloody hell. What does that take him up to? 6? Eclipsed my sister with 5. That'll take him up to 5. Has he not got 4 kids already? Okay. So he's up to 5, same as my sister. Okay. Well, congratulations to James Maddison. So, yeah, getting back to it. What do people think about what he had to say about... Is him mentioning Bentancur? Do we reckon that's contract wrapped up? Does he see Bentancur as a key part of his squad? Does he see him that way? I think David Clark said it for ages that under Frank, he's going to see Maddison in a whole new light, or we will.
Yeah,
and I completely agree with that. I've been a bit of critic of him at times for certain things, but I think we're going to see much more of the Maddison from the first 10 games of Ange than we have other parts of Maddison. What's your thoughts, Ben, on the 3 players you mentioned?
Don't.
I know who it is. Don't worry.
For God's sake. But I'm a bit too hot to think. I just really like seeing people like Dragoshin. I think Dragoshin knows this is going to be a manager that really knows how to play him. Whether he's going to be there, because I've seen that he's got loads of interest from AC Milan. I see a lot of the defensive players are going to be relieved that they're no longer going to be playing in a high line with double inverted fullbacks. They're going to be much more chill for next season. And it's going to be a very, very interesting time to be a Tottenham Hotspur player, because I think every single player in that squad is going to be looking forward to going to that training ground and learning something new, because this is a really good coach. It's a really, really good coach. He is. I'm just going to bring up what Spurs Rule said as well.
Do you know what? I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. I actually think Thomas Frank outlasts Daniel Levy. I really, really do. With everything that's going on, I think there'll be new owners, or at least partial owners, investment, whilst Frank is here, and he will outlast Levy. I really, really, really do think it. Phil P is here. Big up, brother. Woo! This is the other thing. This is massive from Stephen. I'm actually excited for the North London derby now. First one in November.
Excited about that game.
Oh, mate, I'm always excited. Always excited for a North London derby. Then when it comes to it, I will be as nervous as hell. But that North London derby in November, and Frank would have had enough time to get his team in a system, in a format where they're comfortable and understand the system. They'll go to that game and they'll be full of belief.
Yeah,
they'll
we can't have fans going to Premier League games like myself knowing we're going to lose games of football. There's got to be some level of, we're going to have a really good game today, we're going to give them hell. Like, we couldn't even go into a Leicester game thinking it's a routine game, or Ipswich. It's bonkers. We've got to have hopes, and we've got to have aspirations for every single game of football.
Yep.
And hopefully that's what we have next season.
Yeah, I mean, but obviously Burnley at home, you couldn't really ask for I don't say easiest start, because obviously any team in the Premier League, especially the way Scott Parker had them defending last season, and him coming back to Spurs, is always going to be but it's you'd want to say that should be 3 points for Spurs, wouldn't you? Regardless of who the manager was, you would be. Every Spurs fan would say, "Yeah, you know what? Burnley at home, any time of this season should be 3 points.
Should be, absolutely should be."
I'm just trying to remember as well. At home in the Premier League, have we even dropped points to Burnley? Ever? Have we? I think it's just
remember.
Away. We've obviously had a defeat under Conte and mixed, and we also lost. We lost as well under Harry when we got Champions League after beating Man City. So away, we've done it. But I think at home, I don't think we've dropped a solitary point to Bournemouth.
Burnley.
But too many B's. Too many goddamn B's. Mate, honestly, I'm trying to look into the chat and say hello to everyone. I'm trying to pick things out. I've seen my friend Gary Bell. I saw Gary Bell. What's Gary got to say? What's he got to say? That's David.
Good to see you, Gary.
Not necessarily. He came in, tipped his hat. What went before, nothing more. He's excited because we have good players, but there will be incomings. Yeah, of course there will be. Of course there will be, Gary. But like I said, you've known I've wanted Thomas Frank for just over 2 years, and I think this man will take us forward. I really, really do. Good to see you, Gary. And then David, Frank is my kind of man, straightforward, no bullshit, and his coaching tactics are made for the Prem. All these doubters are just negative people or kids living in there. Well, they may not be that, but that last part. But I do agree wholeheartedly with everything you just said there. I think he's going to win a lot of people over. The more and more the transfers come in, I think the more once we get the season underway, I just think we have got something very good here. Potentially special.
I think we can play. One of the things, and we've always struggled against low block teams like Burnley, the way Burnley are playing under Scotty Parker.
God damn it. Oh, they've never beaten us at the New Stadium. Never. Yeah. I don't think they beat us at White Hart Lane in the Premier League either.
But what Thomas Frank always does is they always score early. So imagine that. We can play a low block team and score a goal early. That would be brilliant. Yeah.
Brentford were spot on for doing that, weren't they? They
always scored early goals. They scored against us in like 25 seconds.
Yeah. And that was a quality goal. I have to say that was a quality goal. But they've also had it where the game where I became that I wanted Thomas Frank, when we went 1-0 up with Harry Kane's goal, and then they wiped the floor of us in the second half, and I see the mothership has just come in. Oh, dear. Big up. We are Tottenham TV, as always. They're making a presence on the channel at the moment, and I need to get Ben and Simeon on.
They can jump on any time they want. They don't need an invitation.
Of course they can, but no, I'm going to do some more stuff with Ben and Sim on this channel as well, which will be good, which will be very, very good. But yeah, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time. Now the thing is waiting for transfers. Oh, 1 second. Neil, thank you, buddy. 2017, last time Burnley got a point from our place. And 1980, okay. Gotcha. There we go. Thank you very, very much indeed. And there was another comment I just wanted to bring up. And where's it gone? Where has it gone? Oh, yeah, it's David Clark again. Frank's Brentford assistant coach. No, I'm talking about Justin, not his Justin Concrane that's come in, that's worked with him before. Not his actual assistant. So, yeah, you're right there. You are totally, utterly right there.
It's a good comment from Gary Becks here. Frank will be a massive hit at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, not because he's got this niche or that niche, but because he's a proper student of the game, his team and the teams of a... Indeed, I totally agree with you, Gary. I totally agree with you.
Bullseye, jackpot, Yahtzee.
They scored in under a minute, 3 games in a row, missed 4 by 16 seconds. They score early. And that will be really, really good to get this style we're playing. We got Gwyn's in the house. Good to see you, Gwyn. Brilliant interview by Thomas Frank. At least we're getting a coach who can sort these players out. Also, nice touch mentioning him, Ange being a legend. Indeed, I agree.
That's the thing. A lot of people picked up on that. And so they should have done. So they should do.
But it's a really, really good time, I think. It's one of those really nice blankets. It's like a nice blanket, not at the moment because it's 30-degree heat, but it's going to be a really nice cooling blanket over the club at the moment. It's going to steady the ship, and I think we can finally start to build properly, and it's going to be really, really good.
Who do you reckon, or position? Let's just go position, not player. Obviously, Tell and Danso are done, but they were pretty much wrapped up before Frank came. People in the chat, and you, Ben, then I'll get... What do you reckon is the first position he feels? Not what we need. What do you reckon the first position the next signing will be?
Defensive midfielder.
You reckon?
Yeah,
You're going. I'm going right. I'm going that right wing. I think that right wing is going to be... I think we bring a number 6 in.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty clear that we've got it. And Wemo that we can pretty much discard. Semenyo. I forgot the other one that was. What's the other guy? For God's sake, Kudus. I think. Oh, we got David Clark going left back. We've got right wing or defensive midfielder from East. Raiders going right wing. Marios is going Carl Walker-Peters. Well, we've got that. We got one person being very, very specific. We're going to go CDM, then right wing, then left wing, then centre back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Semenyo and then Richard Rios.
Okay. I need to look into this Richard Rios because he is getting a lot of love. And like I said, I'm not going to be one of those that say, "Oh my God, yeah, love the player. He's amazing." But never even heard of him until yesterday when I saw the rumours about him. So I'm going to have to do my work on this guy. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people have gone with literally specifics in Carl Walker-Peters. I think he's definitely coming in. I think at some point in the window.
Club trained players as well. It's good for club trained players.
Yeah, but Joe, well, with that one, the reason I'm not saying he'll be in first is I think that is so obviously going to happen. There's no rush to get this one done. Yeah, I mean, he'll come to Tottenham. He'll come back home. It's a free transfer. He'll come. Champions League football. He can come back home. I don't think any club if they wanted him, will be able to tempt him away from a possible Spurs reunion or a very, very likely Spurs reunion. And I reckon people like the right wing position we want, those players will be in demand.
Yeah.
And Spurs need to act quick.
Yeah.
And you look at it, you look at the reaction from Matisse Tell's signing. If the next signing is Kyle Walker-Peters, the place will go nuts. It will go.
If we sign Kyle
nuts.
Walker-Peters, is that? If we sign Kyle Walker-Peters, is that Thomas Frank telling us he's moving Pedro Porro to right wing?
No.
Because then we'll have 4 right backs.
I think Spence will be... Well, you got to remember, a lot of people, and I kind of agree, I think Spence looked better at left wing, left back rather than right back. So if you bring in Kyle Walker-Peters, and Kyle Walker-Peters can play both, you're going to have 2 fullbacks in Spence and Kyle Walker-Peters that can play both. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Spence could be first choice under Frank. You never know if he goes to a bad, but I think my personal choice will always be Porro. But we will have to see. But there's a lot of people talking about Richard Rios, and positively. I don't. How much people that know of him? What kind of fee are we talking about for him?
I really don't know.
This is why I'm asking people, because I'm really absolutely clueless on this guy. I don't know how much it cost, but everything I'm hearing about him has all been very, very positive. Has been insanely positive, which is a good start. And I think Shem has become a member to both channels now.
Right. He was asking for a 2-for-1. He was asking for a 2-for-1.
You're being Levy.
Unfortunately, Shem.
You're being Levy. Don't be like Levy, Shem. But no, thank you for all your support, brother. It's always much appreciated. So people are saying 25, 30 mil. But a buyout clause of 85, Crossamano is saying.
Yeah, we're not spending 85 million on a player from Palmeiras.
No. But I will say, and again, this is, I'm talking as I do not know the player at all. There are a lot of, you look at some of the big clubs, they find these, I don't even know how old he is, Rios. How old is he, people? Because you find a lot of people like Man City or Chelsea, they find these or the Spanish teams, they find these South American talents and bring these big guys in. Big up, Lee.
Big up, Lee.
Big up. Yep, we will be coming up with a new version of anger management. It's just literally going to have to work. I would have to sit down and try and work out time frames to do it and find the best way to do it. But that will be back. Just got to work out the format. But me and Eugene will be doing a monthly show called To Frank or Not to Frank. And I have to say, Eugene was actually in the chat when I was live on We Are Tottenham TV with Ben. And even he put in the chat, okay, I've been won over. With that first press conference, he was like, okay, I get it. So Eugene has been fully on board. But like I said, how old is he? People put in how old he is.
25, apparently. 25.
Rico, there you go. So do you know what? This is the thing. If we buy these type of players, yes, they may be like a lot of people are talking about him, but a lot of people like this French striker going, oh, who the hell is he? They're not kids at the moment. They're like mid-20s where they'll be coming into their prime. I'm not opposed to these. Yes, I want an Eze. Yes, I want a Gibbs White. Yes, I want an Nkapie. Yes, I want a... But there's got to be... We've seen with Thomas Frank and what he can do and his coaching staff. So, do you know what? Paul Clark's just come up with a good name for it.
Kudos has been watching too much Soccer AM. Great age. Great age. Frank, yes, I like it.
I do like that one. Are you expecting some unknown gems in? I am. Do you know what? I am. But like when people used to say we had to Google Danny, like Danny Rose said, we had to Google Danny Rose. We didn't have a manager with a great track record of being able to do that. It literally was. We were buying whilst Arsenal and the filth, and this was way before this came out, were buying unknowns like Anelka and Vieira and Petit. We were buying Nkudus and G's, Fazios, and it's been the recruitment, and it's been with managers that can't do that as one of their key attributes. Thomas Frank has proven he can. Thomas Frank has proven he can. So I do expect some unknown gems. I really do. And I'm fine with it. I just hope this time that we start bringing in, like other teams do. Thank you, absolutely. There's a massive one. I just hope we've come to the point where we sign, if we do sign one of those players, the unknowns, there is a couple of quality players that come in alongside him. That I'm all down for signing these unknowns. I'm all down, but you can't pin all your hopes and go, yeah, he's going to turn into the next Bale or the next Van der Vaart or the next whoever it may be. But yeah, Joe, what? Let's have some. Let's whilst we've got only a few minutes left of the stream, everyone start putting in the weird unknown players that we've signed that just did not make the gravy, and try to pick up Jesse. And believe me, this could be a long list.
Good to see you all. Thank you everyone for watching. There's 185 of you watching across both streams. Make sure, if you haven't before, if one of my moderators or one of our moderators can put the links of both the coffee company and of course Tottenham on Tour in the chat, it would really help us out. Go and subscribe to both channels and let's grow together.
So he's very versatile then. Defensive midfielder, central midfielder, Cam.
Gedson was the worst.
Gedson Fernandez. Gedson Fernandez. Oh, mate, someone, who was it, has just done it? Come on, you. No, not come on, you purse. Ferg. One, mate, I used
Tom
to.
Dooley.
Mate, do you know, I nicknamed this guy FIFA. And do you know why I nicknamed him FIFA? You know when you're playing FIFA and you start pushing triangle for speed, and then once you drained it, it's like, that was Stambouli after 3 yards. That was Stambouli. My God, he was not a, oh my God, he was just bad.
Oh God, Yedlin. Oh God, he was terrible. Jonathan Blondell. Jonathan Blondell.
Yep. There's a couple of
Scott M's going tell.
Oh dear. The next
Timo Werner. Jamie Redknapp put in a good shift. He was still
oh my God, I remember him. Scored a wonder goal.
Mabizela.
Scored a wonder goal. Big up, buddy.
Ryan Hill.
John George has come in with a classic.
Paolo Tramezzani.
Ryan Mason. Look at these names. Look at these names.
Jansen. We're putting in all the terrible names. Noradine, Naybet.
You know what I'm going to say, Neil? I agree pretty much with you on absolutely everything you have said. Naybet, all right, he wasn't the greatest, whatever, but I think we needed some experience. And he scored a goal against the filth. So, yeah, I can't. Naybet was, I think at the time, a good buy. Oh, there is one, but I can understand why people may say Naybet. Lamella, what are you talking about? Oh, we got a list. Oh, he's just done. Wait a minute. So Adrian has just done ends. We could probably do an alphabetical A to Z of players. Adrian has picked the letter N.
Yeah.
And I agree with every single one of them.
Fraser Campbell.
God. Jesus Christ. That was bad. That was bad.
No.
That was bad. Helder Postiga was my God. I mean, you've got to work this out. Helder Postiga or Janssen. I know Janssen got a couple more goals.
Oh, Gilberto. And
so, Joe what? I don't, maybe it was just me, but I actually, oh my God, Paul. But I actually liked Moussa Saib. I thought he was a good player. And I also thought, and I wish we'd signed him on a full-term contract because he was a psycho, was Stefan Dalmat. I love Stefan Dalmat.
Oh, I've got one. Milinka Vasimovic.
Yeah, and Bunjo Bonjacevic. That's another one.
Kamalo.
Lamella weren't a flop, kudos. Lamella was not a flop.
Ben Anik. Ramon Vega. Jose Dominguez.
Okay, so wait a minute. Spurs Raw has followed Adrian's suit. And who was it that said the two Oh no, sorry, it was Howling. Adrian went with ends. Now Howling's choosing nationalities. Luke, do you know what I will say? And I say the same. I'm surprised people haven't said Soldado. And I'm going to say this again. Tottenham Hotspur, I don't have people. Tottenham Hotspur failed Redbroth and Soldado. They didn't fail Tottenham Hotspur. We bought them and asked them to play in positions that was not their key position. And what they did, from why we scouted them and what they were brilliant at. Patrick, I can't even remember that name. That shows.
Gazaniga. Gazaniga was great because he kicked someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drew La is in the house. Good to see you, Drew La. Hopefully you're well.
Big up, Drew La.
My brother knows Ramon Vega. Lovely man, shocking footballer. David Bentley. David Bentley was terrible. Lo Celso. I mean, Johnny loves him.
Yeah. Look, do you know what? Lewis Holtby, man. Lewis Holtby was...
he was terrible.
You know what? I will say, Spurs Rule Fox, the first year I had my season ticket, 95-96 season, he had a purple patch. And I remember the North London derby.
Big up, Rule Fox.
I remember the North London derby where we won 2-1, where Chris Armstrong scored the winner. Rule Fox.
Chris Armstrong as well.
Rule Fox absolutely destroyed Arsenal.
We got them both here. Rule Fox and Chris Armstrong. Big up to the two of them.
There's a couple of names I've just seen. Bobby Mims. My good God, Bobby Mims. Graham Hill has chimed in with a brilliant one.
Vinicius.
Yep.
Andy Simpson.
King of the stepovers. King of the stepovers. I think Raider.
What a player!
This was the biggest letdown. Letdown. That was such a bad one.
He did a great trick against Burnley though in the cup. Remember when you flicked it over a player's head?
John Scales. Yeah, do you know what? I never got the abuse for Rule Fox. I honestly, I don't get the abuse for Rule Fox. I don't get it. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't. He won't go down as a Tottenham great but he was. He had, like I said, my first season ticket holder. He was very, very good. Very good.
Gica Popescu, what a footballer he was.
Mate, Gica Popescu is one of my favourite midfielders. And I think
Nacho Slayer's got a good one. Callum Davenport.
Yeah, you can add Anthony Gardner. Oh, Fergie's on the roll. Howling has come up with another good couple.
He came from the academy.
Howling.
Jason Cundy.
Mate, Kulusevski, how can you say Dean Richards, brother? Rest in peace, you do say, yeah. Dean Richards, God bless him, I thought it was quality for us. Oh, my God, Phil P has just mentioned Guile. And I think it's because Ferg did. Who I used to call Guile from Street Fighter. Kevin Scott. My good God. And Ferg, do you know what Ferg, you know Ferg is from my time. David Kerslake. My good God. This was a... And the worst thing is Kerslake and Scott were in the same team.
Yeah.
That's how bad we were at times. My good God. Steve Slade.
Someone put it in the chat. Zeki Friars, Jack Clark, Guy Butt. There's been some terrible footballers.
Mate, do you know what?
I don't know. No disrespect to the tank commander, Paul Stalteri.
Yeah, don't bring the Canadian into this, who scored one of the most memorable goals. Paul Stalteri is definitely never going in that list. He's never going into room 101. Do you know what? Paul Stalteri was a goddamn workhorse.
He was.
He was someone that always gave 110%, no matter what. He may not have had the best attributes, but boy, did he do something special. and obviously with my Canadian roots now, I won't have a bad word said about him, but Joe Audio, my brother, Audio. What are you doing? I just had mate. Audio has come up with a great one, but who played for us in the Intertoto Cup of all things. Exactly, Gary. Oh, mate, how are people putting Nicola Hotspur Steve? How can you put my name is Nicola Bertie? Man, that's one of the. Do you know what? That's one of the greatest songs of all time. One of the greatest songs of all time.
We got Leo's in the house. Good to see you, Leo. Hi, Leo. But on that note, okay, have we got anything else to say before we wrap up?
No, not much. Just obviously, I'll be flying solo tomorrow. I might bring on a co-host. But Tottenham on tour. Do you want me to still dual stream it, Ben, or should I just do it on Tottenham?
Stream it on TOT tomorrow.
Okay, so TOT will be on tomorrow. Hopefully, there'll be some more news. What I will say, Totspur, big up brother, has just come in with. I forgot about him.
Oh God, he was terrible. Wasn't he?
It was terrible. Gary Beggs, how can you say Stefan Everson didn't live up to expectations? But my God, I did love Stefan. I did love Stefan. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, there will be some stuff to talk about. Or do you know what? If there's not, maybe we'll have a bit more nostalgia day because I do love my nostalgia streams. Maybe Nostalgia Friday will be tomorrow, depending on what goes
Bingo,
on.
remember?
Oh yeah, and the update for Buzzword Bingo will be there. And this week we have had some absolute bangers, and I do mean bangers. So that will be on tomorrow. Everyone that's joined in, and there's been some new people in the chat as well. Thanks for joining us. Like I said, Tottenham on tour will be a lot more consistent now and a lot more regular. I've got my mojo back after needing time out for health reasons and other reasons. And it's good to see so many people back and joining us. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow.
You've
gone mute.
Thank you all.
There you go.
Thank you all so much for watching today's show. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, if you should know what the cup is brewing, take it away, Aki.
Thomas, Frank. Thomas, Frank. Rehab session for the Frankaholics is over until tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. And as always, Levy out.